world is a cold, unforgiving place. It doesn't care about dreams, hopes, or plans. It crushes the weak, tests the strong, and leaves scars on everyone who dares to stand and fight. And yet, even in this merciless void, there is a fire that refuses to die. A fire that burns not because it is sheltered, but because it endures. It flickers, it weakens, but it never goes out. That fire is me. That fire is you. I've walked through the ashes of everything I once held dear. I've felt the sting of betrayal, the ache of loss, and the crushing weight of failure. The world didn't just test me, it tried to break me. And maybe, for a moment, it did. There were nights when I stared at the empty sky, wondering if the fight was even worth it. Nights when every breath felt like a curse, every step like dragging a boulder uphill. But here's the thing about hitting the bottom. There's nowhere left to fall. The only direction left is up. So I stood. Not because I wanted to, not because I was ready, but because staying down was never an option. The scars on my body and soul became reminders, not of my defeats, but of my survival. Every mark told a story, a testament to battles fought and challenges overcome. They were proof that I was still here, still breathing, still fighting. Strength isn't born in comfort, it's forged in the fire, hammered into shape by pain and struggle. Every hardship I faced added another layer to my armor. It wasn't perfect, it was dented, cracked, and imperfect. But it was mine, and it held. I learned that the world doesn't hand out victories. It doesn't reward kindness, fairness, or hope. If you want something, you fight for it. You claw for it with bloodied hands and grit your teeth through the pain. You don't fight because you think you'll win. You fight because surrender is not an option. I don't pretend to have all the answers. I don't even pretend to have most of them. But I do know this. Life is about finding something, anything worth fighting for. Maybe it's a dream you buried long ago. Maybe it's a promise you made to someone you lost. Or maybe it's as simple as proving the world wrong, proving to yourself that you're more than the pain, the failures, the scars. For me, it's the fire, that small, stubborn flame inside me that refuses to die. It's not bright or beautiful. It doesn't light up the darkness like the sun. But it's there, steady and unyielding, a quiet defiance against the void. It whispers to me in my darkest moments, telling me to stand, to fight, to keep going. Not because it'll get easier, but because I can. I've stopped looking for salvation. I've stopped waiting for someone to pull me out of the pit. The truth is, no one is coming. No one is going to save you. You have to save yourself. You have to find the strength to climb out of the darkness, one painful step at a time. And when you fall, because you will fall, you get back up, again and again and again. There is no magic moment when everything suddenly becomes okay. The pain doesn't just vanish. The scars don't fade, but you grow stronger. With every step, with every battle, you become something more, something resilient, something unbreakable. I don't fight for glory or revenge or even hope. I fight because I refuse to let the world win. I fight because the fire inside me demands it. It's not about being fearless. Fear is part of the journey. Courage is standing up despite it. It's facing the unknown, the impossible, and moving forward anyway. Every day is a battle. Every sunrise is a challenge, but as long as I'm breathing, as long as my heart is beating, I'll keep fighting. I'll keep building, brick by brick, a fortress that no storm can tear down. And one day, I'll look back at the ruins I started from and see not the destruction, but the strength it took to rise from it. This is my story, not one of victory, but of survival, not one of perfection, but of resilience. I am not a hero, or a legend, or a savior. I am a warrior forged by fire and hardened by pain, and I am still here. The path ahead is uncertain. The battles will keep coming, but so will I, stronger, sharper, unyielding. I will carry my scars with pride, not as marks of defeat, but as symbols of everything I've overcome. The fire inside me burns brighter now, fed by every struggle, every loss, every moment I chose to stand when I could have fallen. Let the world throw its worst at me. Let it try to break me again. I'll keep rising, I'll keep fighting, because I am more than the darkness, more than the pain. I am the fire, and I will never go out. The road stretches on, each step a reminder of the battles I've faced and the victories I've claimed. I am not defined by the times I've fallen, but by the times I've stood again, unbroken and defiant. The world can throw its chaos, its storms, its endless trials, but it cannot extinguish the fire that burns within me. Let the winds howl and the skies darken. Let the shadows stretch across the land. I will walk alone, but never lonely, for the fire within me keeps the void at bay. Every scar, every wound, every heartbreak, they are not signs of defeat, but the badges of a survivor who refuses to surrender. This fire is mine. This strength is mine. With it I carve my path through the ruin, not as a victim, but as a warrior who refuses to be conquered. This is not the end of my story. It is the beginning of something greater. I will face it all with my scars as my shield and my pain as my sword. Let the ashes settle where they may. Let the scars mark my skin. I will rise from it all, not as who I was, but as who I've become. Stronger, fiercer, unyielding. I am the fire, and I will never be extinguished.